AGORACOM Talks, your weekly go-to source for the best small-cap headlines for over 65 million investors since 2007.
Great to be here. And yeah, this week we've got a real rapid-fire rundown for you. Some pretty interesting developments hitting the wires in the small-cap space.
Think of it like your quick intel brief, right? Stuff that might make you say, maybe I should dig into that one a bit more.
Exactly. We're just hitting the highlights to get you pointed in the right direction.
Okay, let's dive straight in then. Breaking news style. First up, ESGold headline reads, ESGold Corp uncovers large-scale geophysical anomaly in Quebec, a game changer for its Montauban Project.
Right on their heels, we have Great Atlantic Resources, TSXV GR, reporting Great Atlantic prepares for first ever AI-assisted surgical mining deployment in Newfoundland. Feels pretty high-tech.
Definitely. Then there's Lancaster Resources, CSE LCR, announcing Lancaster Resources expands global footprint with strategic gold acquisition in Australia's Cobar district, moving across the globe there.
And staying in mining, Goliath Resources confirms Sherbet discovery confirmed as part of large-scale, high-grade gold system in British Columbia's Golden Triangle. Big news out of BC.
Okay, keeping the momentum. ESGold, TSXV, NAU with this. ESGold's Limousine Butte project delivers high-grade gold antimony results amid strategic U.S. support for critical minerals. Antimony, interesting angle there.
Yeah, critical minerals are definitely a hot topic. And Longcore Gold, that's TSXV LM, reports Longcore Gold intersects multiple high-grade gold zones at depth, signaling underground expansion potential at Adumbie.
Wow, okay, a lot of mining news. And rounding it out, a shift to tech. Hiddos Inc. achieves record financial performance in 2024, signaling robust growth in privacy-focused digital advertising.
Phew. Yeah, that's quite the list. A lot happening.
No kidding. So let's drill down a bit. We want to give folks a reason to maybe look deeper, starting with ESGold's large-scale geophysical anomaly. What's the hook there for investors?
Well, the key thing is that combination you mentioned. A high conductivity anomaly plus a strong magnetic signal. In exploration circles, that pairing often gets people thinking about VMS systems, volcanogenic massive sulfides.
And VMS means?
It means potential for, not just gold, but often silver, zinc, copper as well. It's a type of deposit that can be quite rich. And crucially, this anomaly is in a part of their Montauban project that hasn't really been explored before.
Untapped potential then. And the size is relevant too, isn't it? They mentioned being the largest landholder.
Exactly. They control a huge area, over 13,000 hectares. So if this anomaly pans out, it's not just one small spot. It could suggest something much bigger, potentially district scale. That scale is definitely part of the intrigue.
Okay, moving to Great Atlantic GR on the TSXV and this AI-assisted surgical mining. Sounds cool, but what's the practical investable angle?
It comes down to grade and precision. They've already got this high-grade inferred resource at their Jacqueline main zone, like 10.4 grams per ton gold. That's pretty low.
10 grams is solid, yeah.
Right, so this surgical mining idea, using AI with a special BoreDrill, it's all about targeting only that high-grade stuff very precisely. Go right for the gold, minimize digging up waste rock.
So it's about boosting efficiency and economics, basically. Getting more bang for your buck from that rich zone.
You got it. Plus, they mentioned some recent drill results, like one intercept hit 120 grams per ton gold over almost half a meter. Yeah. That just underscores the kind of high-grade pockets they're aiming for with this tech. Better recovery, potentially lower costs, maybe even a smaller environmental footprint. Investors like to see that.
Makes sense. Okay, let's hop over to Australia. Lancaster Resources, LCR on the CSE, buying gold ground in the Cobar district. What's the story there?
Cobar is a well-known, productive mining region in Australia. So Lancaster is stepping into a good neighborhood, so to speak. And the land package itself is pretty big, over 28,000 hectares.
But it's the history that catches the eye, right? Those sample numbers.
Yeah, that's the hook. They highlight historical results like rock chips hitting, get this, 204 grams per ton gold. And channel samples showing things like 16 meters grading almost 6 grams per ton gold.
Wow, okay, 204 is huge.
Yeah.
But historical, so grain of salt.
Definitely. Historical results need verification with modern work. But having those kinds of numbers pop up historically in a known gold district, it strongly suggests there's real potential there. And apparently, it hasn't been hit hard with modern exploration techniques yet.
So the angle is proven region, high-grade hints from the past, and room for modern exploration to potentially define something economic.
That's the gist of it, yeah. Underexplored potential and a good address.
Gotcha. All right, back to Canada. BC's Golden Triangle. Goliath Resources, GOT on the TSXV, confirming Sherbet is part of a large-scale high-grade gold system. What backed that up?
The big thing is the confirmation from the Colorado School of Mines. Having an independent, respected institution validate their geological model adds a lot of credibility. It suggests this isn't just, a few lucky hits, but potentially a coherent, large mineralizing system.
And the drilling results themselves.
They've been consistently hitting. They mentioned visible gold in like 92% of their drill holes. That's remarkable consistency. And the grades are strong too. They quote assays up to 34.52 grams per ton gold equivalent over 39 meters.
39 meters, that's a wide intercept.
It is. So you've got width, high grade, consistency with visible gold, and now this validation of the large-scale geological model. It all points towards the potential for a Tier 1 deposit, a really significant find. That's what gets investors excited.
Okay, NevGold, NAU on the TSXV in Nevada. High-grade gold, but also antimony. Why is the antimony part a big deal?
Right, antimony's the kicker here. It's officially listed as a critical mineral by the U.S. government. That means it's essential for industry and defense, and the U.S. wants reliable, preferably domestic sources.
So having it alongside the gold adds strategic value.
Exactly. It potentially opens doors for government interest or funding, and it adds another potential revenue stream beyond just the gold. NevGold reported good combined results, like 67 meters grading over 2 grams per ton gold equivalent, including a richer zone of 30 meters at over 4 grams per ton gold equivalent.
And they're looking at old data too.
Yeah, they mentioned reassessing historical data, looking specifically for antimony that might have been ignored in the past. So they might be able to boost their resource understanding, partly just by reanalyzing existing info, which is smart. That critical mineral angle is definitely key here.
Interesting. Okay, long core gold, LN, on the TSXV in the DRC, hitting high-grade gold at depth, at a Dumbi. What does at depth signal?
It signals potential expansion, basically extending the life and scale of the project. They already have a decent open pit resource to find over 3.6 million ounces.
That's substantial already.
It is. But these new deep drill hits, like one that returned over 22 meters, grading about 3 grams per ton gold, show that the mineralization doesn't just stop at the bottom of the planned pit. It keeps going down.
So this could mean adding an underground mine component later on?
Precisely. It opens up the possibility of a hybrid operation open pit first, then follow the high-grade zones underground. That could significantly improve the overall economics and make the whole project much larger and longer-lived than just the open pit scenario. More ounces, potentially higher value.
Got it. Okay, last one, shifting gears to tech. Cadeau's Inc., record financial performance. What are the key numbers investors should notice?
The headlines are the revenue growth and the swing to profitability. Revenue hit USD $14 million, up 6%. But more importantly, they turned profitable. Adjusted EBITDA was over $1.1 million compared to a loss before. And they posted net income of over $350,000, also a turnaround.
Profitability is always good to see. What's driving it? Is it their market niche?
Seems like it. They focus on digital advertising for kids, but in a privacy-compliant way. Think Kapaba. GDPR-K compliance. In today's world, where data privacy is a huge concern, especially around children, having a safe platform is really attractive to big brands.
So they're carving out a niche in responsible advertising for a sensitive demographic.
Looks that way. And the numbers suggest it's working. They also mentioned growing cash reserves, which signals financial health. For a tech company, showing that path to profitability and having cash is, a really positive sign for investors.
Okay, wow. So that's a lot to digest quickly. We've covered potential big discoveries, new mining tech, strategic land grabs, critical minerals, mine expansion, and a tech turnaround.
Yeah, quite the range. And remember, this is just the first pass, the headlines, and the key results that stood out to us.
Exactly. This is really meant to be your jumping off point. If any of these caught your ear, the anomaly, the AI mining, the high grades, the profitability, now's the time to go read the full releases.
Do your own homework, your own due diligence. See if the full story supports that initial compelling headline or result.
And maybe think a bit bigger picture too. How could these developments, if they pan out, change things for these companies or even their industries down the road? That's where the real long-term potential often lies.